Moving on to the next story now for review. DSS laid siege at the National Assembly, prompting the sack of Lawal Daura. Nigerians woke up to the news of DSS operatives laying siege at the National Assembly on the morning of August the 7th, 2018. At the time, President Muhammadu Buhari was away on one of his trips, while Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was acting in the capacity of the president.
Sibling of #NSAS.
Right. So,
well, this is not SARS.
Well, this is not
SARS.
SARS. This is an altogether different beast.
I would say this quickly, and when I saw that happen, I was terrified.
What, of the takeover, of the barricading of the assembly, or the sacking of
some symbolism
Daura.
of what happened in terms of main siege.
Yes.
Now, for all intents and purposes, because people were saying things like the National Assembly members have dishonored themselves. They are not men or women worth any honor, and well, we might argue that forever. But the symbolism of the National Assembly is the representation of every
people.
single Nigerian on the face of the planet.
Yes.
of the people.
Of the people, basically. And if you lay siege to that house, it's the biggest affront on democracy possible.
Yes.
The biggest affront. Because what you're saying is that you're trying to muscle the will and the gathering of the people, because every single person there is supposed to represent.
Is a parent representation.
It's a
direct representation. And for me, that was massive. As in, I don't think there's anything bigger that could have happened that was a direct attack
on our democracy.
Exactly.
But if I may say, we saw it coming. We saw and had it coming. Because earlier in the administration of this government, we saw the same attack on judicial officers, and nobody said anything. In fact, to put it more mildly, Nigerians went ahead and said all sorts of things about how justified it was.
Yeah.
A lot of us at the time said, again, I keep making this statement, if you see your neighbor going through a certain predicament and you say or do nothing about it, it's only a matter of time before it comes to your doorstep. We saw it coming, it was happening. There was a widespread attack on judicial officers. I dare say that there's no bigger attack on democracy than an attack on the protectors and purveyors of the law.
Right. And I think that's the thing. I think one of the things like Tunji said, and I think you touched on, is the importance of our democracy. I think that's what most people saw when they saw that, because for me, I wasn't on the side of any one of the warring parties, if you like. I was on the side of democracy. I always said, I'm a Democrat, I'm on the side of the democracy and whatever. And our democracy was at risk. It was at stake. And look, it was like manna from heaven when, Vice President Osinbajo took over and he said no. And of course, he's a son like you guys, he's from the judicial. Because he knows, because it is their job to protect our democracy in that way.
Do you know what it is like? It's like the FBI.
Yeah, basically arresting the president. Taking over the White House.
No, the White House. Congress.
The Congress,
Capitol Hill.
Congress,
in front of Capitol Hill.
Yes, Congress.
That will create, but you see, again, a lot of Nigerians didn't understand this.
That could lead to anarchy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We also heard interesting.
So the interesting thing was at the time it had the look, feel, and shape of, a cool stream, in real time.
Like
it was huge, and then again, like a lot of the stories, that we've had here, it seemed like this was yet the latest operation in a playbook that's been tried and tested. By the end of the year, you had a situation where in a state like Akwa Ibom, the State House of Assembly, state lawmakers were also affronted. Wow. When you look at the fact that this is an administration where the executive and the legislature, right, up until the recent defections that happened towards the end of the year, were essentially dominated by members of the same party. Yet, both arms of government have not been able to see eye to eye, right, on key and important issues. You're thinking power sector reform, you're thinking reform in the oil industry, you're thinking electoral reform that they bungled in December, and all of those things. because of parochial political reasons, it then begs the question, like Ms. Ireti rightly said, our democracy really is being challenged.
I'm not on anybody's side. I could
at that time you couldn't be. You just didn't.
But you see, you don't do this. You don't. This is a symbol of our democracy. This is the symbol of our representation as Nigerians.
This is my freedom.
This is my freedom.
How dare you?
If you can do that to my lawmakers, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. Journalists aren't safe.
Nigerians really applauded, or some Nigerians applauded the Vice President Oshibajo.
Like I said, thank God for him for coming out. It was like a manna from heaven. That was the light. That was the light we needed in that darkness. Now there's a lot of questions that go, and there's a lot of murmurings about whether Daura was just a sacrificial lamb. I don't care who the sacrificial lamb was. Somebody needed to come in, make a decision, and fix it.
Of course,
and fix it.
Because I mean, there are those times where you're watching those movies where you realize that everybody sits down at the table and they're like, yeah, we realize we all goofed, but
somebody got to be collateral damage.
It's you.
And you're the chosen one. No hard feelings, bro.
But I'm definitely not taking the fall because we're moving on to the next story. We'll be right back.